Yeah, it's JD here with River Rat Survival. Sorry it's been so long since I've been able to get out and make a video. I'm really busy. Haven't been able to do everything I want to do because of work and stuff. But I'm hoping to change that here pretty quick. Start getting out, making some videos. Showing you what I know. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe not. But I'm sure somebody will. I enjoy it. I like getting out here and sharing the knowledge, letting people know. I think we've got too far away from all of our basic needs. Everybody makes their lives way too complicated, you know. So I've been trying to keep it simple, just with the basic necessities. Try not to overcomplicate everything. Make some good tender. Save that for later. I just harvested some yucca stock here. I'm gonna make a hand drill set later. Hopefully do a video on that. Try to anyways. It's been a while. Now I'm making a spoon. I'm gonna try. Fairly easy to do. Actually, the only thing you need for a spoon is a piece of bark. You know, you get a curved piece of bark, flake off. I don't know if I can get one off this. Okay, here's one right here. There's your spoon. I like to spend a little time though to pass the time. It doesn't take too long to do it right if you're going to do something. So you might as well do it right the first time. Save yourself the hassle. That way you don't have to do it again. Nothing like a good knife. Good sharp knife. Anyways. Get a good knife and basically actually make whatever you need in survival situation. This here is a prototype knife. I don't know if I've introduced you guys to it yet. A friend of mine, Nathan Hall, made this for me. Been testing it out. It works pretty well. It's real comfortable. I like it. Stays sharp. Got a spear tip. There's holes in the handle here, so you can make a spear out of it. It's good for fine work. Good for just about any bushcraft need you need. Splitting logs. Carving. Works really well. So I've been trying to beat it up. I kept telling him I was going to make a video about it. I've just, like I said, too much time doing what I don't want to be doing instead of what I need to be doing. So I'm out here this morning. Nice morning. Playing with it a little bit. Hopefully do some more segments later. Show you guys some of the stuff it does. If we get this into production, I'm going to contribute the profits off of it to the local Cub Scouts. So they could use it. They could use the money. They always can. Cub Scouts is a good organization. Really good. Sometimes I think they tend to get away from some of the stuff that they really need to know, but that's alright. Everybody does what they can, and we're happy for the volunteers, so. Nothing like a volunteer. It takes a heck of a person to give up their time to go out and help other people. That's a great thing. We'll work on this some more later. Start showing you some of the stuff that you can do with this. Our yucca process. Very sharp. Very sharp. And we've got a few surprises in store for you. I don't think I've seen any other knives like it, but we've got some ideas that'll make this a really good knife. Really, really good. Make it easy for you to take care of it. Don't really want to give away all the information yet. There's a few things that we've talked about changing on this. I'd like to get the back to throw a better spark, because the way it is now it doesn't do very well. I feel like I said, it is a prototype. I'd like to get some jimping on the back for a little more control. Tip is about perfect for spearing. Holes are perfectly placed. Like I said, I'll show you that later on. It's got 3 holes in the handle here. They're great. It's got the curve handle for when you're chopping and hacking. Just normally whenever you have a straight handle, it'd be up here when you're trying to hack, and your knife tends to go like this. If you got it like this, it tends to hit it straight on, so that helps. And like I said, it's just comfortable. I think we're going to stick with the cord wrapped handles on these, I'm not sure, and then offer other options if you so desire. This thing might work. Never made a hand drill set out of this. I prefer just make a bow drill set because it's always got cordage on you, right? So I don't see the sense of using a hand drill set too much. You absolutely have to if you lose your shoes or something, because there's not a lot of cordages that you can make out in the field that are strong enough to actually make a bow drill set. It really takes something strong to make a bow drill set out of. Board. Not pretty, but it'll work. Alright, there's that. I'll try that out later on. Let me make some feather sticks out here. I used this a few weekends ago when I was out with the Cub Scouts making some basket out of cattail. They really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. One of those things where you start to show the kids something though, and you know how your attention span is when you're young. We all went through it. And I started showing them. I was making the cordage for the bottom of it, and next thing I knew, I was the one making the basket and no one else was around. I don't mind. They paid attention for a little while. Taught them some knots, the basic knots. They really dug that. Taught them the handcuff knot, which I've done a video of before, where I use for processing game. It works really well. On the bow line. Something you gotta remember when you're doing these feathering. If you're going down, there is a grain in the wood, which most of us know. So if you're down here working, you need to start up high. Okay? If you're down here working, then you try to work your way back up, you're only going to get a segment from wherever the next point is to the top of the first point you went, because you've already dug in, and there's only grain to that point so far down, so you waste a lot. As you can see the small pieces that are coming off the stem. When I get up here, I'm able to get a little more. There's a guy out there from Matt Tunes, an older gentleman. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he had a Fresnel lens that was out of a projection TV, and the thing was probably about this big. So the kids were really enjoying that. At one point, one of the kids set it down next to his chair and set part of it on fire. It was so good. Then we were over there and trying to make a fire, and we had a good ember going, and I'd ask him to step back, because he kept holding it right there by my head, and I was like, well, can you step back a little bit, please, so we don't want any injuries. The last thing we want. And so he did, and I just kept blowing on it and was really getting it going, and then all of a sudden I felt something hot on my shoulder, and I turned around, and from where he was standing, it was totally on accident. He was standing there like this, just holding it, and had it focused right on my shoulder, burned a hole in my shirt about that big around, everywhere that it was focused at, because it focused in a spot about this big. Everywhere it was focused at, it just spontaneous combusted my shirt into ash. Got a little excited there for a little bit. That's alright, it was an accident. We all mess up, and he apologized left and right. Probably learned from the ordeal, which is good. You gotta learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, there's something wrong. Gotta pay attention. That's what my Uncle Ronnie used to tell me all the time. Pay attention. Pay attention. Alright, I got some good feathers there. So you can see they curl off really well. Plenty flat. Let's see if we can split up some firewood here. Start with this. This here is elm, and it works really well for a hearthboard. Actually, it works really well, period. For about whatever you want to do with it. Wish I'd be down at the river doing this today, but we've got so much going on. Still in a couple hours here home. Son's got a birthday party for him and one of the other kids in the scout troop. We bought him a slingshot that shoots little Nerf balls. It's really cool. Really cool. Because he always comes over and shoots with Alex in the backyard with a real slingshot. So I figured I'd get him something that he could play with at home without having any supervision whenever he didn't have any. I'm not going to process enough as much as I usually do for a fire here, but process enough for one. Usually I like to make piles about this big, you know, start with small stuff like out of this, you know, crumpled up really, really good. Bark is the greatest thing to use for tinder. You work this down into a fine, fine mess. It catches the spark really well. I like to get a bunch about so big, you know, for tinder, and then work up to some featherings. Put on that, and then do like finger to pencil size. A little bigger than usual, but then go up to magic marker size, and then build your fire. So I guess that's probably enough rambling for today. As you can see, it's pretty easy to work with this knife. Works on about anything you want to use it for. I think I'll really enjoy giving back to the Cub Scouts too. They could really use it. Supposed to be getting a new scout cabin before too long. Donated. Beautiful thing there. Kiwanis. Do a lot of great things for the community. Good people. A good base here for our spoon going. might have noticed I've got a little problem focusing on one part, on one thing, because I'm always thinking about something, thinking about the whole thing at a whole, and I jump around, do a little here, do a little there, and eventually it's done, and it works. Try to take the whole thing into focus. It's hard to work on something when you're right up on top of it, so I tend to distance myself from the task at hand while I'm working on it by looking at the thing as a whole instead of looking at just a tiny spot on it. That's why it's so easy for people to stand back and tell you what you're doing wrong when you're trying to work on it. When they're not in there doing it, they have a little better vantage point. Starting to look like a spoon. I remember the first spoon I made, me and my father camping down at Shawnee at Little Grand Canyon, which is a great place to go if you ever want to go. Plenty of caves, really cool stuff. And I sat there and carved a spoon about this size, same way. Burned out the bowl on the spoon with some coals, just sit them on there, blow on it, let it hollow out. Carved a spiral around the handle up to the end. You don't know how many people tried to buy that thing off of me. It took too long to make. I put a lot of detail into that thing. And then came up missing. So somebody got it. Probably one of my friends. Call him that. Alright, so we'll work on this some more later on. I'll show you guys the progress on it. Time to get around, make breakfast for the sweetie, get ready to go to the birthday party. So, sorry if I've rambled on a little bit here, but it was fun. And I will get out and make some videos. And plan on doing some videos on making arrows and a bow, some water procurement skills, stuff like that, you know, just the necessities. But we'll see what happens. Remember guys, be prepared, go easy. It's been fun. Thanks for your views. Thanks for your comments.